Hello, 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 and welcome to another week of the Cheap Seats. It's been an incredible week of English Premier League football, so we're going to be talking about that. But remember, you are on One World Sports Radio, so you can interact with us on all these different platforms. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, as well as on YouTube. Remember, you can also subscribe if you'd like to subscribe and be notified when we go live. The thing about getting notified and ringing that bell is that on weekends, especially since this past Sunday, we've been also continuing with the rugby championship following the Springboks in Australasia. So that's a fun part of the game. I think we got a lot more rugby fans than actually soccer fans, but we're going to try to convert a lot of you, especially now, because I think a lot of those fans who had left the Premier League the moment Cristiano Ronaldo left and went to go follow La Liga because the battle with Messi and Ronaldo are now back in Manchester United shirts. So welcome to the glory huggers and the glory chasers. CR7 came back, scored 2 goals against Newcastle. I didn't watch the game. I was busy watching Arteta try and resurrect his managerial career. So that was fun. But how are you guys doing? I've got Dean, I've got AB. Dean, how are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Good to see Spurs go from 1st to 7th in this matter of 2 days in the Premier League, which just shows just how topsy-turvy it can be. But sporting-wise, tough weekend. Springboks lost, Spurs lost, Chicago Bears lost. If it wasn't for Daniel Ricciardo on Sunday, it would have been an absolute disaster. But
I support McLaren.
Well, I'm not going to support Mercedes, the Manchester City of Formula One. So have to go for someone battling for top 4 or top 3, just like Spurs. So have to stick to it.
Yeah, no, you select them well. I must say,
yeah.
You do select them well. Well, as a Ferrari supporter, I'm never. I got duped in by a man named Michael Schumacher. Never again. AB, how are you doing?
So I have 2 reactions for you. I'll do the Premier League reaction first. We are the best team in the league, guys. We are the best team in the league. We should just stop this league. It's done. Finish it. United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Everton in the Champions League next year. Give us the trophy. We're gone. Top scorers. And then Champions League, yeah. We're not even good
Them
enough.
young boys.
No.
We're not that you order from Wish.
Yeah.
No, guys. We're not even good enough to get into the Europa League right now in the Champions League. So, yeah.
We'll see you in the Conference League. Don't worry, Abby. We'll see you there.
No, if you're lost, you can't go anywhere, guys. It's fine. We're sorted.
Yeah, so, gents, as AB was saying, AB took our thunder. It's been a very interesting week for Manchester United fans. They had Viva Ronaldo, everything still is about Ronaldo. I saw a tweet I think it was yesterday or today, about what happened to Ronaldo's shirt. And I was like, who cares?
Every day.
But United social media's gotten on the Ronaldo train. FPL's gotten on the Ronaldo train. Everyone's got on the Ronaldo train except for me, up until you'll find out at FPL and what I just did. But AB, this week, how was it having him back in the number 7 shirt, watching him? The whole world watched him. How did you feel when he scored?
Man, look, it's honestly so surreal. So I'm going to talk from a fan perspective now. It's just like, I feel like this isn't real. So pinch me, because every fan dreams of signing Ronaldo. Any United fan dreams of re-signing him. We've all played FIFA. We've all re-signed him. We've all won the league with him. It's awesome. And his comments about him coming home and all of that was quite heartwarming for a lot of the fans. So that's really great. Seeing him score, oh my word! Yes, it was a shitty little tap-in goal, but he made the run to score it. Then he scored that left-footed goal where he ran 32 k's an hour. You've all seen the tweets about how fast he was. It's going to be a hype train every time he scores. There's going to be some statistical analysis every time he scores. And then seeing him score in the first 13 minutes against young boys, and that's all we'll talk about, was great, because, he made the run and Bruno saw him making that run 8 minutes before. So it was great. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Ronaldo. I'm so excited. I'm just so happy. The rest of the team, we don't need to talk about that. It's cool.
Okay. Dean, is this an overreaction? Does
I can say yes.
No, but like, is this Ronaldo hype worth it? Is it real? Is it just like the guys in the red side of Manchester finally have something to talk about after being dominated in the last decade by City?
I think it's summed up quite well in that famous phrase of form is temporary but class is permanent. I mean, there's no denying Ronaldo is class, and that's why seeing him score, I wasn't surprised. Seeing him score 2, also wasn't surprised. It's what you're going to get with Ronaldo. So I think United announcing him 874 times on their Twitter is a little bit overhyped. But I think his impact on United is you can't deny, because previously, if you take that Newcastle game, United have lost or drawn that game in the past. They don't go on and win that game 3-1 or whatever it was. I can't even remember 4-1. I've stopped counting. 4-1. So, and I think that is literally purely because of Ronaldo. And a Spurs fan, I was even frothing watching Ronaldo run up and down that pitch, because it's that little kid inside you that just loves watching someone who you know is amazing at the sport do what he does. So I think United fans were getting carried away until the Champions League game, where they saw, oh crap, this man is not the absolute answer to everything, because that game against Young Boys highlighted the holes in that team, which we've spoken about in the past. But I think Ronaldo solves a lot of problems. He doesn't solve all the problems. And exactly in that game against Young Boys, the problems that can't be solved is where teams are going to look to attack and look to capitalize on. But yeah, I think from a Premier League perspective, every time that guy touches the ball, every time he scores, it's going to be absolute pandemonium. And it's great for United, it's great for the league. But we'll see if it continues.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think United signed arguably one of the top 2 best players of all time, and he still is in the top 5 conversation in world football. So they got a player that sets them apart, that sets them up there, that gets them the goals. And you saw that this weekend. You saw that on Wednesday. He scores. He scores in every single game right now. And that's what he's gotten to do. At United, he didn't do it that much when he was there, younger, got to Madrid, started becoming the striker that everybody knows. AB, does this change the ambitions? Because I remember we did this show a while back when we were talking about all the other signings, and we asked whether it was title or bust. Has Ronaldo taken this conversation to the title or bust? Will United fans be happy with coming second in the league again, with maybe a Champions League semi-final, FA Cup semi-final, losing to somebody, and obviously nobody cares about the Carabao Cup but City, but maybe like the kids doing something there respectable? Like, is it now, okay, I need a title?
So, I mean, if I was Ollie, I would be going at that Carabao Cup and being like, you know what, I actually don't care. I'm going to put my best team out there and I'm going to try and win that. Because I, as Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer, I need a trophy as Ollie. Like, I really do. If I'm Ollie, I need a trophy. I'm going to try and win Carabao. I'm going to try and win
Europa.
This bloody FA Cup. Well, yeah, I mean, we have to qualify for Europa first. Calm down, Nicole. Calm down. We have to qualify for the Europa first. We're a long way away. So, I mean, yeah, if you're Ollie, you need a trophy. You may not win the league. You need a fantastic season, or you need a fantastic set of results for 9 months to win the league. So yeah, you need to, because right now, what this United team is with Ronaldo is like, and you see it all the time. You've got this terrible little studio apartment in Fourways. This is what United is. You've got the studio apartment in Fourways, literally 1 bedroom, kitchen, little bathroom in the corner there with the shower sink combo, but you've got a Porsche Cayenne in your carport. That's what United is right now. It doesn't make sense, but somehow it's there. So this car needs to be driven, and it needs to be driven until the wheels fall off. And we need to see if we can upgrade that Fourways apartment to some sort of duplex in Stain City where there's a little bit of grass or something. It's a bad metaphor, but it's a metaphor.
Okay.
Just take it. I don't know.
A Porsche Cayenne in a studio apartment. I think he's overreacting because they
No,
have.
but I mean, guys, to be fair, you go into any complex in Joburg, you see there's Oaks driving Porsches, but they're in a 2-bed complex, and you're like, but why? What's going on?
No, true. Yeah. I get you, but you've got Paul Pogba, you've got Bruno, who was like the king of everything.
He was the Porsche Cayenne before Ronaldo came along.
Yeah. They've got Champions League Varane to partner with Slabhead, who everyone thought needed a good partner. Now he's gotten a good partner. You have probably one of the best left backs in the league who's no longer getting dessert because Ronaldo arrived. It's not that bad, and you claim to have the best young player in the league, and his name's not Bukayo Saka. So it's not that bad.
I've never said that. Other people on the show have said that.
But Dean, it's not that bad. Looking at this United side, how do the other top 4 teams match up to them? Yes, we know there's a glaring hole in defensive midfield, but it feels to me like you can score goals. We'll always try to score one more.
Well, I think that's exactly what they're going to be able to, or that's all they're going to be able to do in essence, because of the holes that we know. The thing that surprised me, and talking to Avery's point there about the Porsche Cayenne, that thing needs to be driven properly, and you need to start asking questions of if Ole's at the wheel or behind the steering wheel.
It's right there.
What's going to happen to that Porsche Cayenne? Is he going to carry on driving into 4-ways, or is he going to drive to Dipslut or something, So it's a bit of I think that's the question. And I think if you have a look at the substitutions, and to come back to that Young Boys game, you have a look at those substitutions that he made on whenever it was their Champions League night. You kind of, I flipped off. I saw Ronaldo score, and I thought Bruno assisting with that outside of the boot, and then Ronaldo, I thought, okay, cool. I'm not even going to bother watching this. It's just going to be like 5-0, and I'm going to have to endure AB and Wahid for the next week. And then turned back on, and I thought, geez, these guys are already preparing for the Europa League before they've qualified for the Europa League. Because all of a sudden, you've got Lingard on the pitch. You've got, their second string team, and you're going, but how? How do you take off Ronaldo at 70 minutes when you know what the man can do for Lingard?
And you're one-man down.
You're one-man down. Exactly. You have someone up front that can do, and all respect to Lingard, he did fantastically well at West Ham, but he's not the person you want on that pitch when you've got Ronaldo sitting on the bench shouting out orders. And I think that for me was the worrying sign of those decisions are no one else's except for Ole and maybe his coaching staff. And I think that is the worrying factor as well from a United fan perspective of we've got these players at our disposal now. We've got Sancho, we've got Varane, we've got Ronaldo, but do we have the playmaker or the coordinator and the coach to be able to fit those pieces of the puzzle well enough together day in, day out, week in, week out to make a success of this team? I think you can. I think anyone in world football would probably, I won't talk about Poch having Neymar, Messi and Mbappe all on the same pitch, and he can't even beat Club Brugge. But I think from a United fan perspective, they trust Ole and they would back him to be able to do it. I think there is just now, as we've said before, there are the holes that can be exploited, and you just wait for one or two slip-ups, and the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool and City won't make those.
But, AB, when I looked at the starting lineup against Newcastle, you kind of got a sense of how you should kind of play with Ronaldo, with a single pivot in midfield, because you've got Varane and Maguire, and then you kind of have Pogba more central. Young Boys arrived, and then all of a sudden Pogba's playing left wing, or God knows where he's playing. And the change in structure and everything else. And to your analogy of the car, it feels, isn't it, because you're speaking about the Porsche Cayenne. Ole's driving the Porsche Cayenne. There are some guys who you can ask them to drive the Porsche Cayenne and take it at 300 k's an hour, whatever it is. That's what I feel Pep is at right now. That's what I feel Thomas Tuchel is at right now. to a certain extent, Jurgen Klopp's there because this team, Liverpool fans still think that this 2019 winning side is still relevant. So they're driving at 300 k's an hour. What's required from you, from Ole, is to not crash the Cayenne. He can't crash the car. So then the question for me is, will Ole crash? Okay, we've been hearing rumors about Antonio Conte. So
I love these rumors.
Absolute nonsense.
If in December you're top 4 and had a couple of losses, like young boys, some embarrassments, does the management then say we need to find a new coach? Because Ronaldo's not going to be happy spending his last 2 years of probably professional football +1 in a team with a guy who can't drive the car.
So look, it's a fair question. I think a big worry sign in December would be if United don't get out this Champions League group. That is, I mean, with the draw, you got Atalanta, you got Young Boys, and who's that other team? I don't even know who the other team is. They can't be that good.
Is it not?
No, I don't know. I don't even know this other team. Okay.
Oh, that's even worse for you. You're definitely losing against them.
Oh my word. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. You can't afford to go and not get out that group, because it's, United should be top of that group. Now we're worried about getting second. It's the whole thing. I have no doubt that United will go and win 4 games from this group. They will demolish teams at Old Trafford, because you just have to. You've got a full European night now. It'll be more of the Newcastle games. Suddenly United away from home are terrible, with the fans back, with artificial pitches and all that nonsense. So you can make however excuses you want. But yeah, if United aren't out of the Champions League question, or are out of the Champions League, questions will be asked about Oli. I have no doubt about that. That's sacrilege not to get out of this group. I don't think this United team is capable of winning the Premier League. I really don't. And I think the board are aware of that as well. Chelsea, City, Liverpool have, maybe not Liverpool. Liverpool are probably one of the best starting lineups in the league, but Chelsea and City have the best squads. And United just don't. You can see now, Jesse Lingard, 1 week is scoring a worldie against Newcastle, and then the next week is assisting a worldie against, goal and assist. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. It's, whereas you compare to Jordan Henderson, who comes on I think he came on for Thiago last night, comes up with the winner, or whatever the case is. So it's a different sort of environment. Champions League, United need to get through, or else Ollie's in trouble. And they need to make sure they take competitions like the League Cup next week, Wednesday, seriously, because we're playing, I think it's West Ham again or something like that. You have to go and win a trophy. United won the League Cup in 2004, 2003. It meant nothing in the greater scheme of things, but you see the success they had in the next 3 years after rebuilding a team with Alan Smith, Rooney, Ronaldo. It was a big turning point. Ollie has to go and take these competitions seriously. You cannot, as a professional coach, go and say, oh, it's a trophy, I'm going to ignore it and play stupid players like Phil Jones. Don't do that. Play him against Arsenal in the reserves.
Charlie Patino, get it.
Yeah, there you go. Let him get embarrassed. Let him want to cancel his contract like it's done. Anyway.
Interesting enough, the keeper he scored against was Dean Henderson, who's also... But it kind of baffled me, Dean, because you kind of saw a glimpse of the rotation. We saw Donny van der Bench get onto the field. You kind of see Ole's trying something different now. He's trying to give people some rest, trying to move people around. It may be just time to just forget about it and be like, look, guys, you guys are going to play 38, 50 games a season. Ronaldo's the fittest guy in the room. We're not having dessert already, so it's fine. Just go for it.
Yeah. When he walked in, I was really excited for Ronaldo, obviously, but at the same time, I was wary of, in a good way, for United fans. I thought his impact on the rest of the players would be great. I thought his impact on players like Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, those kind of guys would be immense. And you see that with Pogba now a little bit, and you can see the confidence building. But I think then a result like what they had I think Lingard's confidence is absolutely shot right now. And having someone, and he's not having to just answer to Ole now. He's going into that changing room and he's looking at Ronaldo, 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, being like, what are you doing? So I think obviously Ronaldo, you don't expect the kind of guy to shoot his teammates down, but I think guys now have another person in the change room they have to answer to. And if those kind of decisions aren't paying off and those players aren't doing what they need to do, I think then Ole he doesn't have a choice anymore. He kind of has to say, I can't play Lingard, because if I play Lingard, Ronaldo's going to then look at me and be like, what are you doing? Why do you want to lose? Same with Van der Beek. Like, it's a great opportunity for the man.
There was no reason to play Donny on Wednesday night.
There wasn't a reason.
None at all.
And you're thinking, Donny, please, just as a human being, please go and do well on the pitch. And then, you just want to see the guys do well, and they're just not pulling it together. And again, it's just kind of answering the questions that we have of why aren't you playing these guys? Okay, now we know why. And then they do just become bench for the rest of the season. So I think the peripheral players in that Man United squad are going to get limited to no game time.
Well, Carabao Cup. That's where they should play.
But then to AB's point, it's a trophy. So do you then say, well, okay, you can probably afford to play whoever, Donny van der Beek, but again, you're playing West Ham. So West Ham also have European commitments, and they're probably also going to play their second string team. But then you're kind of going, well, if I want to make a success, do I put my foot down and make a bit of a statement and play maybe not a Ronaldo, but you play a semi-strength, high-strength team. So I think it's a bit of a worry, more concerning for the other players, because I think they now have zero chance of cracking a nod in that team. United have their 11, and it's not going to change unless someone gets injured, in the way I see it.
Yeah, and that brings me to another question. My last question, AB. We saw Wan-Bissaka get that red card. You've spoken about United strengthening at defensive midfield. Did United also forget about strengthening at right back to try and get like not a Kieran Trippier, someone of that ilk to kind of balance out some of the deficiencies you see? I think defensively, Wan-Bissaka is great. I love him, but I think offensively, and you saw that even with the tackle, he's in a place in the field he's not supposed to be at. He's lunging for balls he's not supposed to be chasing. Was that another thing that was overlooked in this beautiful summer, or is Diogo Dalot a capable backup?
So I mean, right now I would rather take a defensive midfielder than a right back, because you've got Dalot. Dalot played for Milan, maybe not as much as we wanted. And the special one called him the best right back of his age group, because he only looks at Portuguese players. Reece James and Trent clearly don't exist in that man's mind. But anyway, he's an idiot.
No, Tomiyasu, by the way. Just
No, but he doesn't. We don't know where he plays. No one knows where he plays. Sky doesn't know. Anyway, so yeah. I mean, I'm excited for Dalot. I'm really keen for him to take a chance against Villarreal and Atalanta, and I think it's a 3-match ban. So he'll play against Young Boy or Atalanta again or Villarreal again. You may as well take. At least he knows he's gonna play. The worrying thing for me comes in where he is worried about maybe getting injured somewhere else in training or whatever, and then United don't have Brandon Williams. Then we don't have anyone. Then Lindelof or Varane has to play at right back, and that's not pretty. You don't want that.
Okay, we don't want. Nobody wants centre backs playing at right back except for Arsenal, and he nearly scored, by the way. Tomiyasu with a little bit of a scissor kick. It was like, okay, we know you're Japanese, but that's
Tomiyasu.
Best right back in the league.
Fair.
Just joking, he's not.
Yeah,
he's cheap on FPL.
He's cheap on FPL, and there's a reason probably why.
and that brings us to the end of our show. AB didn't give us an answer as to whether it's title or bust, but I'm assuming it is title or bust. So do join us for the FPL version of the show. It's game week 5. We're adding in Ronaldo. We're taking him out. We're taking other guys in. So do join us for that. And outside of that, from Dean, myself, and AB, who's taken his video off for a little bit, le sale, cacas.